Here we go again. Woo! Y'all, it's yours truly, Carcino. Don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door. Oh, I'm going to give y'all a list of names. So I think y'all going to want to pay attention to this one. You might want to pay a little bit of attention to this one. You might. You might. Now listen. There's a lot of things that's been floating around. And we need to clarify that. What's up, Bear? Everyone says, oh, this has been terrible. What's been happening with Diddy has been terrible. But when these new charges come, people are going to learn, and they're going to see from a whole different standpoint that some of the stuff Diddy did is going to come back to bite him. The new charges might be worse than the first charges. Now, there's alleged co-conspirators that have never been mentioned. Never. Now, who's a co-conspirator or be considered one? He said, nah, remember, he's only has one charge. I told you he's not as innocent as you make it seem. What are you talking about, Outlaw? I've always said Diddy is not guilty of what they're claiming with the traffic situation. Trafficking? No. Racketeering? No. And so far, that's what he's been charged with. He's yet to be charged as they're reviewing other information that they gotten from the cell phones, the data. Then they have to submit that to discovery again, and they have to go to the legal team to see what out of all of this, could they get some more charges? Then they have the new charges that happened from the raid itself, where they claim they found substances in the claim of him trying to destroy new information. So from that standpoint alone, they've already changed the game. Now, I don't think he is doing anything with no trafficking. I believe all the people that participated in that thing did it willingly. That's my belief. I believe all of them were willing participants, including Cassie. And all of a sudden, you know, Diddy's a bad guy once the money go down. And did somebody say indictments doesn't lie? And the feds are ready? If they were ready, the indictment wouldn't have 14 pages. They just cooked up something real quick, grab him, put victim one in the indictment, and then they got to go and create new victims and claim it's new information. What I've seen being done here is criminal misjustice. How is this man denied bond? Jerry Epstein. We went over all the people that had bonds. Hell, OJ got a bond, and he was up for double murder. Diddy can't get bond. You let all these people, Phil Spector, Jeffrey Epstein got a $100 million bond. They got bond. They're trying to like make this an Epstein case. And it's nothing of the sort. Now, absolutely. Now, we're going to get into that because we got a whole litany of names coming. But don't forget, we always got to do it after the intro. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Oh, I love that. Now let's get into that. Goofy people are celebrating. That is correct. Goofy people are celebrating this right here, which is a misuse of government funds and abuse of power by our government. Now, if they can do this and get away with it and have y'all in concert loving it, then they can do this with anybody. They purposely, the government leaked a video of Cassie and Diddy attacking her to get the public appeal, sympathy. Now, how can you have a fair trial by a jury who they've all seen that tape? And then they clearly cut the tape off at a certain point and don't show you the continuation of the tape because they want you to believe that Sean Puffy Combs grabbed Cassie by her hair and drug her all the way back to the room, which didn't happen. So if you watch the full tape, you see that didn't happen. So they cut it off right there to make it look like that's what he did, but he didn't do it. There was a vase thrown. Diddy sat down. She grabbed her stuff, and she was free to leave. She could have went anywhere she wanted to go. She could have ran downstairs, told the police. No police were called. No case was filed. And about 2 days later, she was right by Diddy's side going to an award show. And they were together 4 more years after that. So to say, just because of that video, all these things happened to her. Everything she's saying now is true because Diddy put his hands on her. Well, they got witnesses to say that she also put her hands on Diddy. Nobody should be hitting anybody. You got witnesses that's going to come forward and allegedly say that she also was on drugs. You're going to have witnesses that come and say that she also was in rehab, just like Diddy. They both went to rehab because they both had problems. So why is these things being ignored? That's the problem, that they're making it one-sided, pro-woman, everybody else. How is Gene Deal going to take the stand? You see, Knuckle Game, when they say the years that this took place, 2008 all the way into 2024, whatever, when they trying to use that, they've already cut out Gene Deal. Gene Deal ain't been around Diddy in like almost 20 years, dude. Seriously. It's almost been 20 years if it ain't been 20 years. He said so himself. He hadn't been around Diddy for that long. So not to say he don't know people that know Diddy and, you know, he got people in the streets and he don't know anything. It's just saying he ain't really been around Diddy. So for him to report on new stuff on Diddy and what Diddy's doing and this and that, he's free to do it. But I'm just saying, what could he tell the prosecution? Well, how could he help them in this case? Telling them about something that's way past the statute of limitation. He wasn't even around. I'm reporting on the human drama, sir. In case you didn't know, what you should know is that one of our friends was signed to Diddy. Diddy got him a deal over at Universal with another company, and he got up out of there. Just because more charges come don't mean that they are legitimate. Do you read this case file? Half of it is what was in the sealed NDA civil suit agreement with Cassie and Diddy. They just used half of that and put that in there, and mostly Rod, whatever his name, Rod Jones, Little Rod. They used a lot of Little Rod's testimony to go along with this investigation. And everything else is off of the raid. And then you have all these testimonies from people who are having civil suits themselves. They basically revoked his bail based on him calling somebody and having a conversation with them. And they're saying, oh, he coerced the witness. He don't know if that person's a witness. You haven't listed a person as a witness in that civil case. They never did. So how is he witness tampering if he's calling somebody else who was a member of the group to find out what the hell is going on? And was like, hey, this person's sitting here saying X, Y, and Z. Did she talk to you? He's just trying to find out what the hell is going on. Why is this person filing a civil suit against me? And they said, oh, he called her this many times, and this is why it all happened. Why? Now, allegedly, one of the people that are on these tapes that they've questioned that has never been out in the public, no one's ever said his name, a guy named Christian Keys. They wanted to interview him. If you know who Christian Keys is, so allegedly Christian Keys was being interviewed because allegedly he showed up on a tape. Christian Keys was saying he's an actor that you saw in a lot of movies that have Tyler Perry and things of that name, and said that somebody in Hollywood, a very powerful producer, was making a pass at him. He never stated the name, but everybody can pretty much guess who it is. A lot of people have refused to work with the federal government because they weren't around. They hadn't been able to get a hold of Kevin Liles. They hadn't been able to get a hold of a couple of players in the game that they wanted to contact. Some people that they saw in the film, including President Barack Obama, former President-elect Barack Obama. Diddy had a party for former President Barack Obama, And he showed up there, and former President Barack Obama was one of the people they wanted to speak with about this situation. But Barack has very more powerful people than the government themselves. He will not be spoken to. Now, there's a litany of people on this list that I have. But just because these people names was mentioned on the list, it doesn't mean anything. Okay? Just because it's mentioned on the list doesn't mean anything. This is just a list of people that they put on the list. Because there's people on this list that don't even have anything to do with it. They put Prince Harry on the list. And that's from Rod Jones, Little Rod's case, alleging that Diddy and his associates gained access to an international connection of dignitaries like the Prince Royal, Prince Harry, and other connections he got to through him. He never met Prince Harry but once. And that was back during the graduation years. Prince Harry is nowhere near the case. No one's interviewed him. The government hasn't even reached out to him. And he's like living in the States now. So, Young Miami. Now, here's a situation that has come to light. They have reached out to Young Miami to talk to her, but she might be a defense witness for the defense. But there's a conflict of interest here because she's not labeled in the celebrity filings, but she's a relative of somebody in question. Her cousin is listed as being one of the people that got down with Mr. Jones, Mr. Little Rod Jones. So she's in it because her cousin is allegedly involved in this situation. So now they're interviewing her and talking to her about her cousin and Little Rod's situation. Now, in case you guys think like Sino was slipping, things are going left, or he was like not paying attention to what was going on in the world with these new charges. If you've been on the Patreon, you already know. If you can see right there, we already own it, buddy. We already got it on the Patreon. The new charges at the hotel. But what did I tell you about life imitating art? You see that? Where's Diddy at? Diddy was facing life. This is an empire, buddy. Diddy was on life and got the electric chair in Monsters Ball. People forgot. They don't even understand how life imitates art. He got the electric chair. He was on death row in the movie Monsters Ball. And this is life imitating art. Shell, everybody know that there's more charges coming. They're gonna make, but these have to be listed in a way that make it look new. If you can't, what we're saying is, and what we've been going off of is what is presented to us. We're not going off imaginary theories. You think his lawyer don't know that there's more charges coming? Of course they're gonna make more charges. He just had an arrest in a hotel. Those are going to be more charges. Those are going to be charges from that arrest when they stormed the hotel. But there's key things in there that needed to be discussed. So we discussed that on the Patreon. So the Patreon will be the first people to see this stuff. Yes, it's a full, oh my, wait a minute. I knew it. They screwed this video up. Because I'm like, why does it say 39 minutes? See, this is what happens when you do something when you're sleepy. Diddy was having a panic attack at this point in time while he was behind bars. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, some people wanted their names removed from this list that Little Rod was filing and the federal government because they had no proof of any of it. Meek Mill, whose name was redacted from this list. So they got to say the Philly rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Then they said a troubled R&B Grammy Award-winning singer who had trouble with the law after insulting a Bayan billionaire. And that's a Barbadian person. And we all know that's Chris Brown and Rihanna. So the person that they would call in the question is CB. Now, one of the other people who have yet to been charged, but has been named heavily in Little Rod's lawsuit, Stevie J, Stephen Aaron Jordan, a movie producer, television personality, and according to these court documents that they got, they claim that Diddy used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Jones' admiration of Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones to engage in these acts. So, wanting to talk to him, they want to get what they can get out of Stevie J and see what he's willing to give up. I know Diddy's head look like it's expanding. Like the top of his head is expanding and his eyes are getting closer and closer together. This list has gone on through many different takes of just nonsense, and most of it is using from just name recognition to make the lawsuit more glamorous by adding people's name to it that don't mean anything. Now, they got T.D. Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes is on here. They was like, Diddy's relationship planned to leverage a deal with T.D. Jakes to soften his impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. The Georgia Mass Choir is on this list, even though they hadn't been charged or accused of any wrongdoing, just like T.D. Jakes. They saying that the professional engagements with Little Rod They want to interview them. Then Donald Lawrence, who's a songwriter, a music producer, he is not accused of doing anything wrong or having alleged involvement in this alleged misconduct, but they want to interview Donald Lawrence. Why? The Clark sisters are named. They were also named for their professional engagements with Little Rod. They haven't done anything wrong or related to any misconduct. They want to just speak to the Clark sisters. So once again, you're just throwing celebrities' names in it just because Little Rod met them. Smokey Norfolk. Yes, Smokey Norfolk. He's not accused of anything, but he had professional engagements with Little Rod, and it's not accused of doing anything wrong. They want to interview him if they hadn't already. Fahim Muhammad, who is the head of Diddy Security. Little Rod says he has the power to make people and problems disappear. He was Michael Jackson's security guard when Michael Jackson perished in his hotel room. Hey, Trish is back. Trish, I wish you was here yesterday. The guys wanted to talk to you. When you started talking about the men need to let the women take over. You had got them activated. Mm-hmm. Now, Fahim Muhammad is famously known also because we've actually mentioned him on the Patreon before because he bought land for his son and teaching his son real estate and all of these different things. So they want to interview him, even though Fahim Muhammad hasn't been named in any crimes or anything. DeForest Taylor. Now, DeForest Taylor is named because Little Rod says he's a witness of Sean Puffy Combs asking him and Taylor for $100 bill because he wanted them to do some cocaine with him, allegedly. That's what they claim. So they want DeForest Taylor to be called in as well. And the guy who's in charge of all Mr. Diddy's, Sean Puffy Combs recordings is a guy named Jose Cruz, a cameraman and the guy who has the security footages and things of this nature. He's named in the court documents, and they call him the gatekeeper to all of Mr. Combs' famous and infamous recordings. Oh yeah, amongst the yeah. Well, the thing is, Rod Jones had access to all of Sean Diddy Combs' like affiliation with all his celebrity friends and connections and popularity. He got all of these different things and thought that he was supposed to get, I believe, $30,000 is what he was short of what he felt he was owed. So all of this stuff that's coming from him, he's only asking for like $30,000. He's like, I only want what's mine, what I feel is mine, like 30,000. Yes, there's other people they wanted to speak to that was on this list. Um, some people from Fox that worked at Fox Studios. There's some other people on this list. Yes. Do you know who Fergie is? Will I Am and Fergie are two people that have not committed any crimes. They want to interview these people for certain reasons. And most of the other parties y'all already know. Since when has it been a crime to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil? It says in this, what I'm looking at here, that a lot of information was gathered from YouTube videos, Instagram, Facebook, and social media sites. Social media sites. The federal government is using Google to give a man 15 years in prison. Now, right. Of course, the media is powerful. It's not even the media is powerful anymore. Social media is powerful. Because before, the media could be defeated. All you had to do was turn off your TV. But now everybody got the TV on their phone. They got it on their watch. You can't escape social media where somebody on YouTube could do more damage than actual news because it don't even have to be factual. They're going to be, how do we know that she did not sleep with the abominable snowman? Because the abominable snowman don't exist. Why? Just because you haven't seen one? How do you think they came up with that design? She's in that area where he could have been at. You won't know her. You ain't seen that. How do you know she didn't sleep with an abominable snowman? So you got all these things up there where people watch the internet more than they watching news. They online. So how is Diddy gonna get a fair trial with a jury when the whole news have been making him sound guilty and the whole internet has been making him sound guilty because they're showing the Cassie tape all on the internet? That's why they leaked it out. So now you can't say we got to get a non-biased mind. Before, they would take the jury in trials like this and lock them in a hotel room. They have no TV. They can't be influenced by friends, family. They separated. And they're basically on lockdown. Oh, please tell them to come cut the check. Tell us how he's innocent? No. I don't have to tell you how he's innocent. He's already innocent until proven guilty. You tell me where he's guilty of. Right. You ain't getting a fair trial in New York. You saw what happened to Jonathan Majors. They said, oh, well, he grabbed the woman right there. He was, when he put her back in the car and grabbed her, that's where the crime was. Like, what? He's moving her out the way so she don't get hit. Right. Then you got people out there that believe he put a hit on Biggie and Tupac. There's people actually believe that because of the internet. That they would listen to a known liar and Kei D who do anything to lie to try to keep himself from going to jail for life. They got footage. Footage of what? He blew up Kid Cudi's car. Diddy was out there with a bomb in his hand. They got that on film. I mean, this is what Cudi and everybody's saying, but he's got to go through court. They found all Diddy's videos. Well, if that's the case, then we gonna see. Now y'all listening to another doggone clown, known liar and clown. Puffy did hire the Southside Crips for security, and they did steal a death row change, which started the domino effect. Listen, you know how many people have bonded security? They had bonded security, which means their security force. The extra security that they have, which is street security, you pay them to keep them from robbing you. And that's what hip hop artists have to do. So they said, hey, we gonna be doing this. You think all these hip hop artists weren't doing that? Now, what they do on their own activities when you ain't around no more, don't got nothing to do with them. They took a death row guy chain based on what they was dealing with over there with them. That's street stuff. They had nothing to do with Diddy and none of that. That's between them and the other side. They decided to go jump Orlando Anderson. That ain't had nothing to do with Diddy. That had something to do with them and that side. Had nothing to do with them. Had nothing to do with them. I'm finna go meet him to go get some guns. And he gave it to her because we finna do the hit. Puff told him, hey, give him the gun. And then dude, y'all been listening to a liar. Kei D is a liar. He has told 1,000 lies to try to get out of going to jail. If Puffy was so dangerous and so, man, like he said, man, Puff was dangerous, man. He could have anybody. Then why the hell would you be telling on him? $1 million. $1 million for a hit in 1995, 96, brother? Are you crazy? That sounds stupid. Only somebody dumb would say something like that and believe it. You could hit the president and his whole cabinet for less than that. No, I just know stupidity when I hear it. And when I hear something that don't make any sense, only people that don't know any better, like kids, be like, "Yeah, well, Tupac's a superstar, so $1 million, man, that's about right." I'd be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" They just don't know any better. But anybody who like gun hits, they be, "Oh, that's some bullshit." They still owe me $1,200 for Leroy. Nobody don't say they don't have a case. They have a case propped up on a bunch of BS. If I take something from somebody's civil lawsuit and try to make it into a criminal lawsuit, where have you ever seen a criminal lawsuit come after a civil lawsuit, which is before it was settled? Normally, you go from civil court the other way around, right? If it's going to be a criminal court. And now it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm like, damn, they win this. If he win the civil court and the criminal court, what the hell they going to do next? Take him on the tennis court? They gonna take them on every court they can. You're on the basketball court, the tennis court. Come on, Diddy, you know you're guilty. I mean, just like, damn, the lawsuit they got is a mix. It's like a remix. Let's take what's in the sealed documents of the Cassie lawsuit. Let's take that in her civil suit. Let's go ahead and unseal that. And then we're going to make up our own thing. We're going to do the remix right here, live for everybody. Come on, y'all. It's remix time. Oh, yeah. No. No. It's just like this, man. Diddy is in a whole different boat than a lot of these people, and they let a lot of other people go in different directions. You know what I'm saying? So to say, oh, we got pink dust everywhere, that means that was ecstasy. It's like, huh? You really can't understand how like insane most of these people are when it comes to making their demands, their issues, everything. It's like all over the place. So these lists of co-conspirators that they got, nobody charged Stevie J. So if they start charging them, they're going to have to get a reason to. Nobody has seen any of that yet. Cuba Gooding Jr. was interviewed by these people, and they called him for an interview, and he was like, man, yeah, well, when you start looking at that in comparison, when they want to speak to President Barack Obama, when you put that name in there, man, you're going to be in trouble. So, of course, it's not only going to be redacted, is going to be subtracted. OJ was faced with double murder. Double murder. And you know what happened with OJ? He got bail. And there was a white woman, 2 white people involved. Oh, you know that what was going on over there. It's not mattering of the judge. You think the judge is making a decision? You think that black woman denied him bail after all he presented? They went back and had a private meeting in their chambers and came back and said, no, they had to go get permission because they was going to get Diddy bail. Everybody else, dude, we talking about murderers, have been able to go home and sit in a $1 million house and await trial. Jeffrey Epstein got bail and Diddy can't. How's it glazing? We're going off the evidence in the trial. How's it glazing? There are Cassie sex tapes everywhere. Media Takeout got an order to take down the tapes. And then some of those tapes are not even Cassie. It's an adult film star that looks like Cassie. And I'm finna give y'all a break in this whole thing that if Diddy team is smart, her name is Cassie Cruz. She looks like Cassie, and she was using that to get some publicity in the adult film game. She's an adult film star. And she's in a lot of, she has the build and everything. Obviously, on YouTube, I can't show you her. Mm-hmm. That's Cassie Cruz. She's an adult film star. That's the adult film star Cassie Cruz. This is the girl that you see on a lot of the tapes, and they say Cassie. Her name is Cassie Cruz. So a lot of those tapes are not Cassie. Cassie do got tapes. Now she is on tape doing some stuff, but the other tapes ain't Cassie. It's this girl, Cassie Cruz. So what do the government really have? They could be looking at the wrong Cassie. She's an adult film star and she resembles Cassie. And they have the same body type, everything. I wish I could show you more, but can't at this time. Now, that's Cassie Cruz. Now, she resembles Cassie. And if you look at the tapes, they have the same body type, everything. So when you look at the tapes and they be like, oh, we got the Cassie tape and all this, you will see that these two people are different. But if you don't know, it just say Cassie. On the tapes, and you seeing this girl getting used and abused all throughout these videos. She don't have to be an identical twin of her. She's resembling her. And when she's in those videos getting pile drived and all that, and it says Cassie on the tape, everybody's going to be blown away. That most of the stuff the government probably got isn't really Cassie itself. And what they thinking they got the freak off, they going to have a pretty much a video of this Cassie. Was that Diddy kicking her ass? Absolutely. He's not being charged for putting a foot in her ass. She got money for that. That's only a misdemeanor assault charge. And that's past the statute of limitation. So he can't be charged for that. Why he settled in 24 hours if he wasn't guilty? He was guilty of putting a foot in her ass, and he didn't want that tape coming out. So he settled with her to make all this go away. But now that you know there's two Cassies, which I've already told people, if you had the Patreon, you would already know all this. Now, ain't no nice try. I'm telling you what's real. You can go on Google and find that out. But y'all didn't even know this situation has already existed. This is old information. Y'all didn't know nothing about Cassie Cruz. And why would many of you? Y'all not going to be on adult film channels. Some of you. Yeah, a lot of people were babies when that stuff came out. Exactly. No, I'm not saying Cassie didn't participate in no freak offs. So if Diddy has freak off tapes with Cassie, I'm trying to tell you, she was there willingly. In my opinion, nobody was forcing Cassie to do a goddamn thing. And that's just real spill. But some of the tapes that were floating around at the time wasn't Cassie. The ones that was Cassie, most of them got absorbed and taken away. We saw the ones that's Cassie. Now everybody knows which one was Cassie and which one was this girl, this other Cassie. So we just trying to put y'all up on game so y'all would know what's up. You in here trying to tell me what's going on. Here we are putting y'all up on game and y'all get mad at me for pointing stuff out. That's right there smack on Google. Like it's on Google. You ain't got to believe me. It's there. He was forcing her into these situations. Wrong. She was 19 when he started corrupting her. Okay. How did he corrupt her? And she's 19, so that means she's an adult. Well, full consent. Yeah. So I just wanted to give y'all the up and up on what's going on here. I can't wait till this go to trial and y'all start to see all this real stuff pop out. And don't tell me nothing else when y'all hear the evidence and all the stuff she's done in this situation, as she's the master manipulator to get at the y'all just forgot about Ryan Leslie and what she did to him. Got up with him. She was in a damn karaoke bar singing karaoke. She a damn karaoke singer. Can't hold a note. Screwing over black folks to steal the doggone movie. Y'all forgot Diddy got her the movie in Honey 3. She threw a fit and then she went over there and started sleeping with the damn dude. Man, look, y'all gonna see all this stuff come out. I ain't gonna even say another word. Y'all gonna see all this come out and she ain't the little angel y'all think Cassie is. Matter of fact, we should do this on the Patreon. So I'm gonna wait till after Monday Night Football, or Thursday Night Football rather, because I'm finna go tackle that. Shouts out to all y'all. Hopefully I see y'all on the Casino for Life Patreon. Open the panel, don't run. Well, I can't. I got the football game coming on. So we're gonna tackle that. Then y'all just swallowed the videos we just talked about. And if y'all see the explicit videos of that Cassie, and you tell me that don't look like the other Cassie when she got D's laying all on her face. And then be like, man, Cassie was wild. Look at her in the freak off. No, that's not her. It's the other Cassie. So we gonna see. Now the ones with her and Diddy in it, now that's a whole nother thing. So we'll wait and see if that come up. But yeah, that note, we out. Bet on the Patriots. Take the Patriots, take the Patriots, take the Patriots. Get them points. That's my pick for y'all tonight. And I'm out.